this is late. This is going to be question and answer number 2 for primal conditioning. I promised to do it today before I got my wisdom teeth removed because I know you don't want to hear me talking like a chipmunk. So I'm at home, I brought the questions home so I could absolutely make sure to get it done for you guys. I'm not going to answer as many this time, but let's get started. How long before a workout should I take a pre-workout supplement? So this depends if you're going to be taking the pre-workout on an empty stomach. If you take it on an empty stomach, it's going to hit you faster, just really like anything, alcohol, coffee, medicine, things like that. And it also depends on how much you're diluting the pre-workout. So if you read the back, it should say something, most of them are 6 to 8 ounces of water. I like to dilute them more. I don't know if that's like a taste preference or it's just a sneaky way to get me to drink more water. But I put them in as much as 24 ounces. It should hit you within a half an hour unless the label says something different. So a half hour. Number 2. What is your favorite and most effective detox method? I don't like cleanses. This question actually came up in a training session. I don't like cleanses. They're really all kind of gimmicky. Not to say that they don't work, but there's no like one best brand or best way to do it. But the answer that I gave in the training session was water. The major component of any of the cleanses that you do, whether it's a supplement-based cleanse, a diet-based cleanse, it's most effective cleanses are about what you're removing from your diet, but also what you're putting in. And most of the time, what you're putting in is lots of fluids, soup, smoothies, just plain old water. But water, best effective cleanse. Going fast. Does drinking water make you lose weight? This was another one that came up in a training session. Yes and no. So if you are generally healthy, then you know you should be drinking water anyway, and the amount of water varies from person to person. Most people don't drink enough. So there's no like hard, you need X amount of ounces or cups or anything like that, but just, you know, if you're thirsty, drink more water. If you're working out and you're sweating a lot, drink more water. If it's wintertime and your skin is really dry, drink more water. If it's summertime and you're sweating all the time, drink more water. Just drink more water. Does it make you lose weight? Yes and no. So indirectly it makes you lose weight because if you're drinking hot water, it really kind of flushes your system. The hot lemon in the morning, hot teas, things like that. And that will keep your metabolism running more properly. And then if you drink cold water, there's the whole theory of, well, thermogenesis, that your body has to burn more calories to heat up the water to internal temperature. But the amount of calories that we're talking about here from either drinking hot or cold water is not a diet plan on its own. That's really just an add-on to an already healthy diet and water intake. I'm not going to answer that one yet. I'm 52, in pretty good shape. I want to lose about 7 pounds and keep it off help. Okay, so 7 pounds is not a lot unless you are already at the lower end of your kind of body fat set point, your happy body weight. I know that this was a female that wrote this, so I'm going to steer this answer more toward a female. Men are easy to do this anyway. But a female, you want to have about 20 to 25 pounds of total body fat on you. You can figure out how much body fat you have by getting your body fat percentage done and then doing some math with that. So 20 to 25 pounds is enough body fat on a female to keep your hormones happy, to keep your metabolism happy. You can pretty easily maintain that once you get to that point. And then plus like 5 to 8 pounds for every child you've had. There's just cells and skin and stuff that happens when you have a child that kind of never goes away, but you never really want it to go away. It's not unhealthy. It's not bad for you or anything like that. So in order to lose 7 pounds, if you're like at that last 5 pounds or that last 10 pounds, then strength training at least 3 times a week. cardio a little bit, unless the strength training that you're doing is already CrossFit. Eat enough protein and eat enough, period. You want to eat about a pound of protein per pound, or a gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's a good place to start. And making sure you're not trying to lose weight on a 1,200 or 1,300 calorie diet. Unless you're like 4'11", women, strength training women, need much, much, much more calories than that. So just the basics and time, keep being consistent and working at it. Best cleanse. I already answered that. Water. What are your top health priorities? If an extremely unhealthy person comes into your training center, what is the first thing you'll have them do? What is the first thing you want to know about? All right, so the first thing is, or the most important unhealthy thing that we want to fix before we get down into the nitty-gritty stuff, is if you consume a lot of alcohol and if you smoke cigarettes. Just stop. I don't really tell you to need to stop smoking. I feel like everyone, smoking is bad. Stop smoking. Alcohol can have its place, but people who are having excessive amounts of alcohol multiple days of the week, that is not doing you any favors, unless you're already kind of at your goal weight, and then unless you are, knowing that you're doing the right thing with fitness and strength training and things like that, then a drink here and there is not going to do anything real negative for you. But if you're completely starting out, you're obese, you haven't exercised ever or in a long time, you definitely want to get those two habits under control. And I suggest getting help with doing that, because that is a lot to change at once if you're adding a personal trainer and health into your life at the same time that you're also trying to remove those bad things. Sometimes it's good to just do all the new habits at the same time, but sometimes you really do have to take your time, and I'm not an expert in addiction or anything, withdrawals, anything like that, but it is something you want to be careful of. After those health priorities are taken care of, or if you come in and you don't drink or smoke, I would want to make sure that your stress is managed, biological, physical stress, not just like, oh, I work a 9 to 5, it's really hard, I have kids, life. But make sure none of that stress is taking its toll on your body. If it is, then your reproductive system will be messed up. Sex hormones, even in older age, still do have an important part of an important effect on our metabolism. So if your stress is good, the next thing that we would look at is your reproductive hormones. The next thing that we would look at is making sure that your joints and your inflammation is under control. You don't have any aches or pains or swelling or anything like that. And the next thing that we would look at is your immune system, making sure that you're not getting sick. Usually by the time we've gone from stress, hormones, joints, immune system, if you're already healthy with all of that stuff, you're probably not the type of person to get sick anyway. And then a level further under that, your digestion. After all those things are all cleared up, you're just like good to go. Okay, I really like this question. If I could only spend $50 a month on supplements, how could I get the most bang for my buck? So I generally separate supplements into two categories, like health and nutrient-based supplements. So all organic, all food state, preferably in a darkened glass bottle. You don't want to get a $5 multivitamin from CVS. Those things, you want to make sure that you're taking a multivitamin, which is probably going to run you about $20 to $30 a month. A stress response pill if you need it, which I'm going to make a whole video about. An inflammatory response pill if you need it, which I'm going to make a whole video about. Any type of hormone balancing that you need. If you don't need anything major, a multivitamin, maybe some extra magnesium, vitamin D in the fall and the winter, vitamin C in the winter as well. Just your really basics, but high quality. Basic doesn't mean I can just pick up a vitamin C from anywhere. I don't know if that was over $50, but you don't necessarily need to take all of those things every single day. And then the other category of supplements are kind of like the sports supplements, the performance enhancement supplements. The category includes like protein powders, whey protein, protein bars, kind of accessory add-on supplements to your diet. Protein, powders, bars, drinks, a pre-workout, a post-workout, or a recovery drink, a like thermogenic or a stimulant type of drink, which isn't necessarily the same thing as a pre-workout, but you don't, and BCAAs, which is kind of just amino acids to help your body from breaking down muscle if you're doing a lot of cardio, if you're doing a lot of strength training, or if you can't eat either right before or right after a workout, which is better. If you can't do that, take BCAAs, but overall, if you had to choose a couple from each category, I would definitely be solid on the multivitamin. If you're not getting enough protein from your diet, a protein powder, and then if I had to choose one other thing, some type of targeted response, whether you need the stress help, the hormone help, or the inflammatory response help. So that's how you can kind of stretch your budget to know that you're getting supplements that are going to do the most for you. Okay, so I'm not going to finish answering the rest of the questions because this video is already over 10 minutes long, but I will have another video soon. I still have a bunch more questions to answer. And then I'm also going to start doing topic videos. The next couple topic videos coming up are going to be my top food swaps. So if you really like something unhealthy, I'll tell you a way to make it healthier, or some alternative that you can buy that's really going to be helpful for your diet. And then I'm going to take you through exactly what supplements I take for stress and what I recommend for cortisol and the midday slump, and especially if you're waking up at 2 in the morning. We'll talk about circadian rhythms and all that too. So I hope this answered your questions. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.